getting ready to show you the biggest review I have ever done. This is the big gift I was promising you, the review of my truck. It's the biggest review I've ever done, and it's a pretty big review in its own because, you know, it's a huge truck. So I'm going to go through all of the different things with it. I'm going to tell you how it drives, and I'm also going to tell you about the comfort and everything that you would need to know about it. This is a 1999 Toyota Tacoma. This truck is literally as old as I am, and it's running just like it was new. The SR5 badging just means that it's fully loaded with all the tech packages they had at the time. And it is the pre-runner V6. Look at all these boxes that are just smashed with the front tires. I haven't had any time to clean this truck, so it's going to be a little dusty looking, and by a little I mean dust has accumulated for, well, I think like 3.5 weeks, because I washed it a little while before we left, so probably about 4.5 weeks. These headlights are anything but stock. They are halo lights, and as you can see, they've got the ring, and the ring actually glows during the day, and then those are actual headlights right there. That's the high beams, and those are the normal lights. They're pretty bright, I've got to say. They're made by a company named Spider, I think, but they're very bright. These are actually fog lamps. I had to get these on because this truck didn't have any, and when I was waking up in the mornings to go to school, it was extremely foggy and I just couldn't see anything in the mornings. But anyways, let's get inside. I'll review the inside. This truck is very, 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 very reliable. I was going to say dusty because you can see all the dust in the right there, but it is also very reliable. I've gotten, let's see, 132,000 miles. I have only put, well, I got this truck when it had 125, so I really haven't put much mileage on it in the way that the previous owner did. This was a one owner. The previous owner had bought this in 1999, fully loaded it, so it has the towing mode button right here. It has cruise control in the background, and it came with their speakers, but I later switched them out for a company called Kenwood. But without further ado, let's start it up and get some video of it running on the outside. This is the key. It's fairly simple, you just plug in and turn. One thing that is amazing on a day that it's about 93 degrees outside is the AC. Oops, sorry about the wind noise. The AC is extremely good, and I should know, I live in Florida. But this is it blows very, very cool air very quickly as well. You can have the AC off and have it just blow cold air, or you can turn on the AC and it basically makes it like twice as cold. It is really, really cold. This switches where the air comes from, so this is coming from outside. This is blowing from just inside the cabin. As you can see, the little arrow is recirculating. These are the controls as to where the air is blowing on the inside of the cabin. So say for instance, your head, your feet and head, your feet, the defrosters and feet, or the defrosters. I've got a couple of 12-volt outlets down here. Got a cigarette lighter because back then that was very famous in cars. This is the extremely simple parking brake. With the key I can turn off the airbag, the passenger airbag. These are the hazard lights, as you see here. This is the extremely straightforward lighting on the outside. So these are the headlights, and then these are the daytime running lights, and then those are the high beams. Let's see what it looks like underneath the hood. Here is the inside of the engine bay. This is the engine right here. It's got the 6 cylinders. This is the air intake right here, and this is the coolant. It runs on the radiator right there. This battery was replaced a long time ago. It was maybe about 7 or 8 months ago. It works perfectly fine. No issues yet. Here are the fuses. There's where the air comes in to cool the rest of the engine bay. It's really windy in there, so I'm not sure if you can hear me very well. This is where you pour the coolant. This is where the wiper fluid goes, in here. This engine puts out about 190 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque. And I believe it has about a 7-second 0 to 60. Okay, that cut me off because the phone had overheated. But, yeah, we're back inside. This is pretty much the interior, as you can see. Let's scoot this chair up. There we go. These are the rear seats. They're pretty small. My sister can fit back here, but it's a little cramped. The seat belts run along on either side as they do in the front. That's a speaker. These windows actually open to ventilate a little. This is the dome light that turns on when the car door is opened. Now, one little strange thing is that this little area right here is considered a seat because it's got its own belt buckle and everything. But I don't know who in the world would fit right here. I don't know, they would literally have to be the 1-foot man. So I just use this as like an armrest kind of there, right there. Now, the GPS that you see right there is here for a crucial reason, and it's got something to do with the speedometer and the wheels. These tires are 30-inch tires. They are actually too big for the speedometer to tell how quickly it's actually traveling, how fast it's actually going, because it's inaccurate. They're BF Goodrich, and it is inaccurate. The speedometer is actually inaccurate by, I think it was about 3 to 5 miles per hour at least, and then about 7 to 8 at most. Here's the bed of my truck. You all know this story. It's just huge, and it's the extra long bed, so I can fit quite a bit back here. I had to replace this one because it was the other one was rusting out and it was breaking, and it wasn't just holding it up. It is so hot outside that I'm being cut off because of my phone overheating. I just threw the tailgate back and everything, and I was showing how the length of it. It is the extra long cab, or long bed, so I can haul a lot more, like say for instance planks of wood. I can do a lot with that much space in the back. And it supposedly has an 1,800 pound payload, so I can fit 1,800 pounds worth of stuff in the back. The towing mode in this truck lets it, supposedly, it'll tow about 6,500 pounds, which is impressive for a truck of this size and of that engine size. One of the only things that are in this truck that isn't manual is the transmission. It is actually automatic. You can see it's got a low gear, obviously for, I guess, towing starts, or maybe if you're doing light off-roading. And then it's got a second gear, and then it's got the drive, which just goes through all 5 gears. Now, this car of its time only had about 4 speakers, but the 4 speakers that have been replaced with the Kenwood are very powerful. They are very good. I am well over surprised about how good it was, because I was expecting maybe roughly adequate sound, and it was going to be pretty loud, I knew, but this thing has a lot of bass. It's got a lot of low end and a lot of high end, so I'm glad that I switched from the old ones. The old ones had, don't get me wrong, they had really good sound for their time, so I had to switch to a newer version. This right here is the tilt steering wheel, as you can see. It does not telescope, so the seat pretty much telescopes that for you. Since I am tall enough to the point where this truck I have to actually sit all the way back, which is about 6 foot, I am very comfortable in here. As you can see, I have plenty of room, like of this much room from my head to the ceiling, so I have plenty of room in that matter. Yes, the seats are actually cloth, but they are very comfortable cloth. They have bolsters right here that are very cushiony. These are very cushiony bolsters as well, and they really hold you in the seat. Now, if you saw what this is right here, this is just like a little open area. I'm not entirely sure if something was supposed to go there as like a secondary option. If you know what it was supposed to be, then leave it in the comments below. But currently I'm using it as like a fog light remote area. So I would just set the remote to the fog lights right there and I would press on when I needed them. Here's the sun visor. Mine doesn't actually have a mirror, as you can see right here. But the passenger does, and they don't get a light with it. I mean, surprisingly not, because, you know, it's about 17 years old. Luckily, the previous owner had tinted all of the windows, as you can see. So, these are going to be keeping the hot light out of the cab a lot better than, obviously, with just normal windows. Look at just all of this carnage that truck created when it just ran straight through him. Now, right here, just under the front bumper, is a little, well, I say little, it's about 1/4 of an inch thick steel, and that's the skid plate. That's one of them. There are a few more that run along the bottom of this thing, because it is an off-road truck, so it can handle a little bit of light off-roading. Now, it is only 2 wheels, so it's only the back 2 wheels that run. It's looking a little like it's gonna storm, so I'm gonna have to quickly review some more. This truck has absolutely no issue that I can see with living in Florida for this long. It has lived in Florida for its entire life, all 17 years, and it's been used to 132,196 miles, and the cooling factor of this truck is just amazing. It is currently like 94 degrees outside, and it's just sitting there like it's not even trying. In fact, its current idle sound is very quiet, as you will see now. Well, as you can see, obviously it being so old, and it being an affordable truck at the time, it has a manual window, and you can see the view right there from the truck on the right, on the left, the driver's side mirror. It is very, I mean, like, you can see a lot through that. That one and the rear view mirror. And the left-hand side, the passenger side mirror. Even the way you unlock the car is manual. Now, this pre-runner badging, it's basically a statement saying that this truck is a race truck, and that it's built for racing. Yes, you heard me. Pre-runner is a badge that was given, or that is given, to trucks or vehicles of off-road capability, enough to the point where they can go onto the Baja 500. Because pre-runner is actually a term coined by the people that run courses. Pre-runner is the truck that pre-runs the course. The runner is the actual truck they use. So, for instance, the Baja 500, I don't know any racers, but say for instance the new Ford Raptor that went out there. They had a pre-runner truck that they ran that the racers ran the course in at first so that they could damage it a little. It wasn't their truck. It was their secondary truck. The truck was the one that they used, the pre-runner was the one that they used to, pre-run the course, literally. So they would learn the course, they would run it just at the same speeds that their trucks would go, and they would professionally run it, like as if they were in their truck, the truck that they were going to race in. The pre-runners, they're mostly for just getting up to the same speed as the truck they use for racing, the stock trucks. So this truck actually has that capability in its engine, because the trucks that they were using were stock trucks. So this is powerful enough to run the Baja 500, or pre-run the Baja 500. And I thought that was pretty cool, because on the road you don't really see any pre-runners. You see Tacomas all over the place, but if they have pre-runner V6 next to them underneath the badging in the back, that is a pre-runner. So this is surprisingly, like, I guess a higher end kind of engine. I don't know. I mean, it's one of their big V6s. I know that much. It was a powerful V6 of their time. The last little bit of info: the front shocks are actual shocks. They are, I'm not sure what company they are, but they're a spring and then the shock is on the inside just like a normal shock. And then in the back I have leaf springs. The body roll is kind of bad. I mean, it is an old truck, so that's expected. But for what it is, it's a really good, smooth ride. If you were on a highway and going over a few bumps or like whatever, this truck can handle those bumps pretty easily, and it feels like you're just kind of floating over them. But anyways, that was the review of my truck. I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna go on about my day and go eat something because I haven't eaten yet, and I woke up late, so there you go. And plus it looks like it's getting ready to rain. Okay, it's been quite a little while since the review. I hope you guys liked that, by the way. Tell me how I did, and how to better the reviews later on. It's been probably about 2 hours. I've been trying to find a place to put all the videos, because there were quite a few long sectioned out videos of the truck, and I didn't really have any space afterwards, so I had to find a place to put that on the hard drive, the flash drive. I just threw them all in a file and deleted the ones on my phone, and then after that I had to charge my phone and my watch and everything, so it's been a little while. But yeah, we're heading to the store pretty soon. It is, I think it's roughly like 4:35, something like that. I don't know, my watch is dead, so I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to throw on some shoes. We'll be leaving pretty soon. I'm going to be driving my truck because it's not been driven in about a month. So I'm going to take it out. Me and my granddad are going to run to Publix to get some food for dinner. I think we're having Publix fried chicken and a few other things. I don't know, but their fried chicken's amazing, so. Alright, we just got back home from Publix. We're getting ready to eat dinner now. Alright, I'm currently running an update. Dinner was great. I'm running an update on my drone. I just actually flew this. It worked fine for the 3rd time in a row. I am so happy this thing finally works. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I'm running an update really quick. After that I'm going to charge both the batteries, just so I can show my dad when he gets home that it flies and it's great. Yeah, I just successfully took a picture and video at like 195 feet, I think, 200 feet almost. And it didn't have a single issue, not even a connection drop. So, very good, very, very, very good. My mom and dad just got home, so I'm going to go say hi to them. Alright, it's gradually getting later. Pretty soon I'm going to have to give up my room to my grandparents. I'm going to go out there and watch TV with everyone before everyone starts heading to bed. Alright, it's been another great day. I hope you guys liked the truck review. It was very difficult. My phone kept overheating. I was getting really hot outside. It was like 95 degrees. And it was getting ready to storm towards the end of that. So I hope you guys liked that. It was pretty difficult to put together, and it took about 2 hours. So yeah, I definitely put forth the effort, and I hope you guys liked it. It was definitely fun making, though. I really liked going through all the details of my truck and everything. But anywho, it is extremely late now, and I've got to get up at some point in the morning, so thank you all so much for watching this video, and good night to all of you.